And we're back. Good morning from downtown Blue Ridge. Had a little glitch on the commercials there, but things are running fine this morning. Downtown Blue Ridge, the shops, the Sycamore Crossing. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning, Miss Jane Whaley.
Good morning.
You've been on vacation. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Pretty in pink,
Thank you.
right?
Pretty, that's right.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I'm here with Rick and Jane. See, we're running real well. Okay. Commercials didn't get run like they should. Good morning, Rick.
Morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
You know, we were talking about the Olympics with Dr. Whaley before he left. I mean, I like the Winter Olympics, you know. And I think any event that you can leave the bar and go straight to, is the best event, sir. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Just don't get out over the front of your skis.
all the guys that go back to the curling, right?
There you
they
go.
Just, get up, you're up next. All right, you know. Pour me a pint, I'll be right back.
We had a curling demonstration down at Centennial Park where we do the ice rink, and they brought all their paraphernalia in. It was pretty interesting.
I
mean, those guys are real serious with their cleated shoes and you know, they're lugging their stones in.
Listen, welcome. We're going to talk just a little bit of politics, okay? Our politics for 500, Alex, okay? Go ahead.
Can I just say
this makes me nervous, folks, before we start. There you go. Take the floor.
I'm not going to take the floor. I've said it before, and I got to say it again. You've got to be the hardest working guy out there.
Well, thank you.
I mean, we talk a lot, and every time I talk to you, you're in Union County, you're in Towns County, you're running to Gainesville, you're in Dawsonville. I mean, you go morning to night, and you do a great job, and we appreciate it up here in North Georgia. So,
well, thank you very much for those kind words.
We got people. My buddy Ross, I hope, is listening. We got people back in Atlanta that are tuning in, and you know.
Well, you know, I've always had a fear that my mom would find out I wasn't working, and that's just the way we grew up. If she would call and find out I wasn't working, I'd be in big trouble. So I gotta be busy, right? So, thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it, and I enjoy it. Did you watch any of the Donald Trump media takedown week?
It was universally over the top.
Over the top.
I mean, every facet of the mainstream media and the DNC was after him in every way they could come out of the box.
Well, I watched all week. I know you were on vacation. You didn't have really as much time to keep up with it. But you sent me messages, and I want to hear something, because you were sending me messages from New Jersey, and you went to see Hillary's America.
I did indeed.
What did you think?
Well, it was interesting because my daughter, we were visiting in her house. She's a Hillary supporter, and her children, 3 children.
I don't want any of that to rub off.
On me, huh? And her children are along those lines, but the grandson is probably a moderate. So they went to see some Disney movie. I said, I'm going to see this. And the grandson hopped up and said he'd like to go. And then the granddaughter, who is absolutely that way to you guys.
How old are they? How old are they?
17 going to early admission, Dartmouth, brilliant.
Okay.
16, 11th grader, the boy. So she said she'd go for education.
17 and 16, right? I want to follow that up in a minute, but go ahead.
So she said she would go with us. I was totally amazed. She went, watched it. I was actually thinking, is she letting this sink in? The Democrats were here, the Republicans here, the whole story. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And then at the end, when the beautiful finale came with the Star-Spangled Banner and the Blue Angels, Bill and I stood up. Many of the people in the auditorium stood up. My grandson stood up. She did not, but that was her privilege. I mean, she was probably thinking, what have I just seen? I hope, because she is just so wonderful. I don't know. But I started weeping. I mean, little tears started coming down, and more tears came down, and more tears. I was just not boo-hooing, but a stream of tears came down for 15 minutes. And it's so powerful because of how the media, or how they've transformed our history totally transformed it and rewritten it.
Well, you know, when you sent me that message, I want to follow up 17 and 16. And I have told people, you need to think about this in this term. Barack Obama's been president for 8 years, okay? Now he's just so if a kid 18 years old turned 18, this kid was 10. Look at what we've done from 8 years old to 10 years old for the last 8 years. Look what they lived through. Now, when we have heard, because a lot of us watch or listen to other talk shows throughout the day, early on, I did not have this show, FetcherNews.com, FYN TV, and I would listen to other talk show hosts throughout the day. And, you know, I remember, and hats off to Rush Limbaugh for his new contract, but the new normal. And we see it, don't they? They created a new normal. Now, we don't accept that, but you understand what I'm saying?
They've been brainwashed for 8 to 10 years.
Yes.
I mean, to tell you, they, you know, and that's, I mean, that's the mantra of the Democratic Party. And they just keep saying it and saying it and saying it, and hopefully you're going to believe it after a while.
What happened?
It's so impressionable at that age.
What's a perfect example is Hillary Clinton and Chris Wallace interview. You probably saw that. So he says, okay, Comey says it's not the truth. You didn't tell the truth. It was reckless. You lied, basically. And she said, now, Chris, that's not what I heard. That's how. And then people believe, oh, we didn't hear it either. And so they say what they say. Obama says, that's not a ransom. We don't have banking privileges with Iran, like you couldn't get one in a minute. You send it in cash on a plane. I mean,
well, actually, that is
answering
answering the criticism. We didn't have banking. We could not legally do business with Iran because we had no banking. You know, we have no corresponding banking there.
So let's do it illegally.
So what we had to do is we had to find 2 countries that did. We gave them our cash. They laundered it. We sent it down there, and then the plane left. Now, everything you think you saw, right? Will that resonate? Will it resonate with the American people?
Oh, you mean change their mind?
Will it resonate with the American people?
I don't think so.
They won't know
You don't think
enough
so?
about it.
I don't think so. I think there'll be enough pushback by the liberal media.
They won't believe
They'll just keep, they'll leave it alone. They won't talk about it.
Well, they left everything alone this past week. The DNC, all they have talked about for a week, some of the things is, you know, the Republican Party's in a mess. You know, they need to do an intervention with Donald Trump. All these negative things this past week they talked about. Not one newscast. Now, I did see it on Fox a couple times, but not one newscast, Morning Joe, Brzezinski, CBS, ABC, nobody ran with the 4 top people in the DNC had to resign. Chairperson, Deborah Wasserman-Schultz, CEO, CFO, and head of communications. 4 top had to resign in the DNC. DNC's a shambles, but they turned that around to everything's wrong with the RNC.
Did I hear mention that Wasserman Schultz is now on Hillary's campaign? Did you hear that?
That is going around the internet, and I can't confirm that right now. I can't confirm that. But what is the number one thing Donald Trump's still polling high on? The
Economy.
Economy, right?
Yeah.
Right? So why not finish off Friday with saying U.S. created 255,000 jobs in July versus only 180,000 jobs were expected? Because that's the one thing that Donald Trump's really over the top. So they're going to start creating the illusion that, yes, the economy is doing well. How many people do you know that, let's say 40 to 50, 35 to 45, that have 2-3 kids that 10 years ago was making X, and now they are working, but they're not quite making what they were before? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, you're talking about the middle class. The middle class is getting gouged.
Oh, would that be the same people that Hillary said she was going to raise taxes
Didn't you
on?
love that clip?
And they cheered.
The whole place cheered, including Warren Buffett. He almost stood on his feet. And did you see that clip?
No, I didn't.
I mean, it was just amazing.
Well, let me ask you this. Will Hillary Clinton be able, will they be able, with somebody like Warren Buffett, will they be able to sell the Bernie Sanders voters that they're not going to, that Hillary's going to go after Wall Street?
I just truly don't believe that those voters are coming back to Hillary. There'll be some that were on the edge. But I think the diehard Bernieites, they're still feeling the burn.
Do you think Trump could stay on message? Do you think he gets off message? I do, but I'm the one, I may be in the percent to where they say, well, no matter what Trump does, I'm not going to find anything wrong. I don't totally agree with that, but do you think Trump gets off message?
What's your take, Jane?
Well, what's so confusing to me is that his message that he probably comes with is off message. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, he goes on and trying to convince us of something. He doesn't stay on what he should be talking about.
Okay, well,
I
let me
think
turn that
he has
around.
it pretty well in order what he's going to say. When he does get off message, sometimes he just kind of rambles. But I think that he comes in there to do the 360 thing. I mean, 180 to everybody. So I think his message is intentionally off the issue and never gets really on the issue, unless he's trying to divert everyone's opinion on the issue.
Well, I tell you what. Let me turn that around. Here's what I'm hearing is maybe not off message. Trump doesn't have to respond to everything. That's what I'm hearing. Is he responds to everything that's said to him, and he doesn't have to do that. Do you feel that is an issue in itself?
Did you? I'm not answering your question yet. Did you watch his speech in Portland, Maine yesterday?
Yes.
Or just clips?
Yes.
Did it seem stilted to you?
No.
Yeah, and what I mean is, now he didn't have teleprompters, but it was like he was so intent on looking down and getting his talking points and making sure.
Well, I seen the piece of paper. Okay.
He's got the blinders on.
Well, no, I see his piece of paper. Okay, when he did the 35,000 in Alabama, he had to fold it up in his shirt pocket, V-folded and pulled it out and laid it down. And I think he's got like, I don't want to leave without these points. I agree with you. He was looking down a lot at his bullet points, but I think he needs to do that the rest of the campaign. I think he needs to go up there. I think he needs to make 6 bullet points tops. Hillary's a crook, $400,000 in ransom money, lied to the FBI. How can you trust her? This week, and I'm going to tell you, you have children, you have a son, and I tell people, and I want you guys to listen to this at home. This morning, I'm listening to Morning Joe. Don't get upset, but I have to. All right, disgusting. Mika, disgusting, right? To her, she's so dramatic. It's the saddest thing in the world that this guy, and it's dangerous. So, and if this offends you, you just get up and leave in live TV. But they had Michael, Uncle Tom Steele. Okay, look up the definition.
You went there yesterday. I don't have to. I'm already informed.
Okay, they have NBC, MSNBC. Look at the camera. Okay, you guys, you're like a Trump supporter. You're on board. MSNBC is racist. Breaking it to you now, racist. Okay, they bring in from time to time. They do. From time to time. Now in the morning, when I watch at 6 a.m., they've got Michael Steele, former RNC chair, and he's commiserating with him, isn't he? You watch him, he's commiserating. And he just doesn't know why Trump's doing this and that. But the point I'm getting to is this week it's can you be okay with Trump with the nuclear codes? I mean, the fear. Are you not in fear this morning of Trump with the nuclear codes?
I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah. They are just hammering the fact that he's been in all these briefings, and he asked him 3 times, If we've got the nukes, why can't we use the nukes? If I've seen that once, I've seen it 1,500 times. They keep throwing that quote out there, hammering people. And that's where he's doing poorly in the polls. He's polling at what, 38% when it comes to nuclear armament and whether he can be trusted with the button? Hillary is what, 60-some%, and he's 30-some% in that one poll?
Right.
He's polling terribly.
Well, here's what I'm getting to. They went to Michael Steele this morning and they asked him, Michael Steele, answer this question. Not as a Republican, not as the former chair of the RNC. Answer this as a dad. I mean, they really did. Do you trust him with the nuclear codes? Let me tell you something. You will vote throughout your life when you become 18 years old, and there'll be different things that will be leading your vote in making your decision. But let me tell you something. The day you go cast a vote, and it's going to be within the 4 years that the president could send your son or daughter to war, you just changed your reason for voting. That's my opinion to everybody. I'll never forget voting. My son's 16 years old, and this is the first time that my vote was for somebody that had impressed on me. This is the person that could send this child to war. Okay? Now, I think he needs to beat home, this is Hillary Clinton. This is who we want to have the responsibility to send our kids to war. I think Trump could win that if he turns it around.
Well, if he turns a lot of things, I think he can win it.
What's coming to my mind is that they keep saying, is Trump competent enough to be president and all that? Well, let me say that I don't know why they don't, the Republicans, why we don't go back and say, how can they have the audacity to say this when Obama was a nothing? He was a city planner, he was a congressman or senator, I forget which one, did nothing, didn't vote very much. All of a sudden, he comes up and he's president. Then when is he qualified to do that? He's never had a business, everyone knows that. But they're not kind of saying, what is the qualification then? What is it? This man's run lots of businesses, and he's going to have people around him that are brilliant. He's not going to be the only one in the White House signing all the papers. And Obama didn't do that. He got people, in my view, around him that are socialist, progressive, and have the same agenda as Saul Lewinsky or all the rest of them.
Oh, so, this is right out of the playbook.
And then it is out of the playbook. And then Obama says, oh, Trayvon Martin could have been my son. That's inciting. And all the way through the others, it was inciting. Is that qualifications for being a president? To divide our country? It's so obvious, everyone knows it. But no one really talks about it, not our side, or for sure not their side. But I don't know why they don't bring that up just a little more. And Hillary was in there right with him dividing the country, and she's doing it now.
Let's do this. Let's use the train whistle for an opportunity to take a brief break. We'll come back. We'll wrap this up. We have our pet of the week. Blue Ridge, the Humane Society of Blue Ridge will be here at 9:30. And don't forget the Scott Farrell Show at 10 o'clock. We're live here at the shops at Sycamore Crossing in Blue Ridge. Take us to break there, Cole.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead. The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Elije.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elije.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. And I don't know if we have some weather because we do live stream up here. I don't know if we have some weather connection issues that are causing a couple minor glitches. So we apologize for that. And I'm here at Shops at Sycamore Crossing. I'm here with Rick and Jane. You know, we were talking before we left the break. You wanted to come back and talk about the media and how we got into a liberal direction with the media. The media's liberal direction.
I've been trying to find a source to tell me why all the media is liberal. And I mean, there's just all kinds of things. But you said something on the break that really hits home. Schools. Go to journalism school. I mean, the whole slant must be a progressive slant, and they must be all liberals. So they all gravitate to that side.
Well,
what do you find when you try to hire people?
When I have young people come in, and I say it like that, when I have young people come in, let me switch to this. Sadly enough, the media has gotten to, they have to sensationalize something to draw attention to themselves because there's a lot of competition there used to not be. So they don't let the facts get in the way of the story. If it will bring an audience. Now, there was a time where the media, whether it was your newspaper, whether it was your nightly news, there was a time when it was important for the media to bring you clear information. Okay? Well, sadly enough, now it's to get the ratings or get somebody to watch, their show. But I don't know why they missed the point. Fox, which, there's some things on Fox I don't like to watch, so I'm not totally in the tank. But Fox has actually done better at bringing the truth in several stories, and their ratings are up. So you would think, some people would think, maybe somebody would like, to get the truth in these stories.
Who was it that I was watching on Fox last week that said that I can't remember the percentage of independents and millennials that watch Fox. Did you happen to catch that?
No.
Judy, what's her name? Judy, she's been around forever. She was the one that said it. She said you might find that fascinating. I don't know, she seemed to have her stats right.
One thing about
Judy Miller? Judy?
I watch Fox a whole lot. But Walter Cronkite, he was voted back in the day as the most credible man in America, if you remember.
I remember that.
And then after he retired, we find out he is a bleeding liberal. He is way to the left, but we didn't know that when he was giving the news. I was so young that I can hardly remember it, but I would like to go back and now just look at some of his news broadcasts to see if there really was a slant. Of course, I was young. I never heard my mom and dad talking. There was this.
Well, we were only getting it from 3 different outlets at that time.
And he had integrity, is what I'm trying to say, no matter what his view was. And as far as Chris Wallace goes, he is very hard on conservative candidates when he interviews. I do know that, and that was brought out, and so now I'm listening. But he's pretty hard on the liberal candidates as well.
Well, here's what I think. There is something in the media is. I think still yet Laura Ingraham did an outstanding job when she says the veil has been moved back. They've been exposed. Okay, and I will tell you this: I don't think people are falling for it anymore. I don't think so. I really don't, because there's a lot of other. People are smart, and I'm going to give them some credit, okay? I know what we're talking about, young people and some of the issues that are going on, but I'm going to give people credit that if you turn 5 different networks, from CNN, and it's Good Morning America, from George Stephanopoulos, yesterday morning across the bottom of the screen, Republican Chaos, when they turn on every one, and then they have a president of the United States that goes to the podium and actually, follows up with the same points. People say, wonder if this was rehearsed. I really do.
Yeah, if they're getting the talking points on the fax machine.
Right.
Oh boy, here's what we got to report today.
Exactly. So I do think whether you like it or not, I do think Facebook, I do think the internet, I do think all these stories are getting out from different places. I mean, when I see a story on the internet, I will double and triple check it, okay? Heck, I've got some people that send me stuff all day long, and the title's Good Read. I don't know who they are, but I get stuff that says Good Read. Oh, my God. It's the 5th Good Read for the day. Anyhow.
You need a reader for your Good Read.
By the way, good morning, 5 a.m. out there in Seattle. Our dear friend Oscar and Edna Poole sent me a message. He is watching from Seattle, Washington this morning, Oscar and Edna. So we're glad, and we hope you guys, Colonel Poole, we hope you're enjoying your trip out in Seattle, Washington.
You heard from Joe lately?
No, I haven't heard from Joe. I don't know what Joe's up to. George has been out west. He'll be back tomorrow. But our friend Oscar Poole's 86 years young, and he's gone to Seattle, and he's watching this morning and sent me a message. 5 a.m. And he also told me it was like 50. What was the temperature out there, Oscar? Oscar said it's like 50-some degrees at 5 a.m. in Seattle.
Then you say his son is out there?
Listen to this. Thank you, sir. Excellent interview with Doctor. Excellent interview with Doctor on Zika and drugs. Same with Rick and Lady. You're the lady. That's okay. Same with Rick and Lady regarding Hillary's America. Very impressive, top-notch, comparable to Fox and Friends. That's what we got from Seattle, Washington, from our good friend Oscar Poole.
Sets the bar pretty high, doesn't he?
I'm going to tell you something. I want to tell you this, and I tell everybody, relax. It's August. They've come out this morning with a poll that, one of the polls has got Donald Trump 14 points down and all this. Everybody needs to relax, okay? Yeah. I think if they go one-on-one in a debate,
going to be very interesting if Donald Trump can just keep his focus. I don't want him to stop being Donald, but he's got
Me either.
to. I mean, it was very sad. I thought his decision to how he treated the
Let me
Gold
tell you
Star
something.
families, but Obama's done just as bad in my view with really when diverting people about this person's killed and black-white issues with the police murders and things. I really, but nothing's made of that, nothing. And that was a bad choice for Donald Trump to make. But
I am tired of all media, regardless of what side of the coin you're on, manipulating people's emotions. And that's what the DNC did with the cons, is they came up there, that was all set up, all rehearsed, and all the intention was to manipulate people's emotions. And that's exactly right. I am tired of that. Hey, look, and then I'm tired of a whole week of somebody disrespect a Gold Star mother. Let me ask you another question. First of all, I think, and I've said this for weeks on the show, Rick knows this, I think they're not going to stop. The Democrats and the media are going to work together, and they're not going to stop till they get Gary Johnson on the debate stage. I don't think they're going to stop. They have to. Hillary cannot go one-on-one with Donald Trump. I think they're going to try to do everything to get him on the debate stage.
And Fox is helping.
Yes, Fox is they're helping.
I mean,
Oh,
it's all
absolutely.
dependent upon where they're polling, right?
Exactly.
So every time
they have him at 12 right now at Fox
What
poll.
does they need, 14?
15.
15, okay.
Oh my God.
So he's 3 points away from one of the polls that counts.
Right, exactly.
So,
and I think realistically, I think what we're looking at is they're going to get him on stage. Now, when you say you want Donald to be Donald, here's what I want Donald to do. You know, I always have to say something, okay? I'll picture this. We're on the debate stage, okay? Donald's over here, Hillary's over here, okay? So they have the opening statements, and Hillary goes first. Okay, she says what she wants. And then Donald says, well, first of all, I'm shocked to see you here tonight. I, for one, thought you'd be in prison.
Yeah.
I really wish.
He might.
Huh?
He might.
Oh, jeez.
I, for
His
one, thought
campaign
you would be
manager
in
will
prison.
Throw darts at him. if
Why
he does
not?
that.
He will win. Right then.
I think he will. Morning Joe, on Morning Joe today, they said, when's dinner? When dinner's served, we're going to know. When the debates, that's when we're going to know who's going to win or not. And he thinks Trump is
Bottom line, the debates will be it. That'll be game over. See, they have picked apart everything. Donald Trump is not ready to endorse Paul Ryan. See, it was okay if Paul Ryan was saying, well, will you endorse Donald Trump? And Paul Ryan was saying, I'm not quite there yet. But Donald Trump says it, and that's the worst thing in the world, right? He says, I'm not quite there
August
yet.
9th is going to be an interesting night.
That's where I wanted you to go. I wanted you to go. August 9th will be big. We'll go with that. Trump said, but on one hand, they want to call it dissension within the two candidates, the nominee and the vice presidential Pence. Pence called Donald Trump and he says, look, I'm friends with Ryan. I'm friends with these people for years. I want to endorse them. Donald says, I'm not telling you not to. And I think that's exactly how it went. Now they're selling it today that Pence had to go against Donald Trump to endorse Paul. I don't think so.
No.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they're trying to sell today, that Pence even had to go against Donald Trump to endorse. No, Pence came out and said there's no division in our campaign at all. We're on target. We're on focus, okay? But I wanted to endorse them. They're my friends. And Donald said, hey, you do what you want to do.
The thing is, though, that my friends who are liberal and my grandchildren who are liberal, they hear the first one, he had to go against Trump. And then when they start saying, or a report comes on, that's not the case, they turn it off. They literally will turn off the TV. If I have on Fox, if I have a liberal friend come in, they get that off. I mean, it's like it's a disease, and they can't stand to watch it say the word. I said, look, they have two people on here with different points of view. Just sit here and watch that. They can't.
I go out to L.A.
I don't know how we're gonna.
where my daughter and son-in-law live. same thing, you know, I'm turning, what number is Fox again? Oh, I don't think we get that anymore. What do you mean you don't get it? You know, they're giving me the business because that's all I do. I sit over there and I watch their kids and I watch Fox.
But I'll tell you one thing I said to my granddaughter. We had it got a little tense, and I just said, sweetheart, here's what I want you to know. I love you more than anything. I'm not trying to change your mind when we're having these discussions. I just want to know what is in your mind. I love you. And I'd like to know, if you'd like to know what's in my mind. You're not trying to change me, but let's just have a discussion. I want to know where you're coming from because I love you, and I'm not changing your mind. I'm just love you so much. I want to know, and I do. And when I speak with liberals, I want to know what's in their mind and how they're thinking. Because it's sometimes just hard to believe.
I don't know what Trump's doing in Portland, Maine yesterday, but he goes up there. But I will tell you what they're not discussing. He is still drawing enormous crowds. And where is the news cycles? Now, if they were there, do you not think NBC and them would be showing them? Where are the enormous crowds for Hillary? They're not showing up. They're not showing up. Do you not think if Hillary was going to these big events and there was 20,000 people, that they would not be blowing up the TV, right? Okay.
Remember the book tour?
Yes.
She couldn't get anybody to come get a book to save her
He
life.
did, there's conflicting numbers. 15,000 at one in Florida, 10,000 at another, okay? He goes up to Maine, packs it in. My prediction real quick here is Trump has to do Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio. And then he has to double back. Forget about the rest of the country. Red is going to be red. Blue is going to be blue. Don't go for the state that you're not going to, get. Leave it alone. Those are the states, back and forth. He has to stay on.
Throw Michigan in there?
You only can fight so much. And off the top of my head, I think if he got Wisconsin with it, he's at 293 on electoral college votes. Thank you.
Nice job.
Yes, okay. I like to add some extra letters in there every once in a while. Electoral college votes, I think he's up to like 293 off the top of my head if you get Wisconsin in there, and that's possible. So I don't know if you try Michigan, but all you need to do is 5 states. Never stop the 5 states. In fact, he could lose Wisconsin and Virginia, and win Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida. I think it's 273 or something. But anyhow, that's what he has to do. I think the first debate will be the tell-all, period. I think that'll be the tell-all, the first debate, and I think that's what'll end it. People are going to start watching the Olympics. The media had to do what they had to do this week to try to tear down any bounce he had. They were effective. Whether we want to admit it or not, they were effective, but we'll see in the debate. I've got to go on to the real important things. I got to do the pet of the week. Those are the important things.
That is important. And
Thank
there's
you.
the cutest little puppy running around here.
And tell that guy to keep sending me emails that say good read, okay? To tell him
whoever he is.
Whoever that guy is, okay? and I appreciate you. Rick, before we go, you brought up August 9th. Tell people what August 9th is.
August 9th is a primary in Wisconsin, and Paul Ryan is, I'm not saying he's running for his life, but he's got a formidable competitor there.
He does. He has,
and he's a Trump supporter. He had a brick, one of those printed bricks the other day. It said "Build the Wall." They showed that. I think that was him. I think it's going to be real interesting whether it becomes another Eric Cantor.
Yes.
Out of Virginia.
So the 9th.
I don't know, but
the 9th is very important to watch.
That'll be a good bellwether.
Right. Ryan could be in trouble because it is a formative opponent, but he's trying to take down. Speaker of the House. We got to go. We got to do Pet of the Week. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. We'll be back with the Humane Society of Blue Ridge Pet of the Week, and then stay with us at 10 o'clock for the Scott Farrell Show. Take us a break, friend.